The roar in the skies, a nation under siege. Have you ever stood in the quiet of the Italian countryside at dawn, only to hear the sudden roar of helicopter engines slicing through the sky? This is not a routine patrol. It is the sound of an urgent battle. Italy today faces one of the most pressing wildlife challenges in Europe, the uncontrolled surge of wild boar populations. With over 2.5 million wild boars roaming the nation's farmland, these creatures have become more than a nuisance. They are a destructive force, causing over €200 million in damages annually, threatening crops, destroying fields, and spreading disease. Farmers describe the nights as battles, not against rival humans, but against an invading army of tusked shadows. And now, with numbers doubling in just 5 years, the crisis has reached a breaking point. This is the story of survival, for the farmers, for Italy's agricultural heritage, and for the delicate balance of nature itself. The hidden enemy, the wild boar explosion. Wild boars are among the most adaptable and destructive animals in Europe. Every year, they destroy crops worth over €40 million in Italy alone. But it doesn't stop at broken fields. They bring with them African swine fever, a deadly disease that not only devastates livestock but also threatens entire food industries. When wild boars die in the fields, their carcasses become breeding grounds for flies and insects, accelerating contamination. The crisis is fueled by their biology. Female wild boars can give birth to as many as 14 piglets a year. With abundant food and no major predators left in Italy, their population has exploded. In just 5 years, the wild boar count surged from 1 million to over 2.5 million. Forests, suburbs, even cities like Rome now report nightly encounters. The enemy is no longer at the gates, it is inside them. Farmers on the front lines. In the rolling hills of Tuscany, olive farmer Marco Rossi shares his story. "I used to lose maybe 5 or 10 trees in a bad year," he recalls. "Now, entire groves are ripped apart overnight. They dig, they break the roots, and once they've passed, nothing grows again. It's like a small earthquake hit my land." Across Lombardy, wheat farmer Francesca Bianchi faces a similar nightmare. "We plant, we pray, we wait, but by harvest, half the field is gone. One herd can wipe out months of labor in just a few hours." For many, the damage is not just financial. It is emotional, generational. Farms passed down for centuries now teeter on the edge of collapse. Some younger Italians are abandoning farming altogether, unwilling to inherit a battle they cannot win. History repeats, man versus beast. This is not the first time humanity has faced such an overwhelming animal crisis. In the 1930s, Australia fought its infamous Emu War, deploying machine guns against giant birds destroying crops. The result? Failure, as the emus outmaneuvered human forces. In the American South, invasive feral hogs now number over 6 million, causing $2.5 billion in damages annually. Texas farmers describe them as the enemy within. Italy's wild boar crisis echoes these battles. It is a reminder that nature, when unchecked, can rise against human civilization in terrifying waves. Helicopter hunting, Italy's high-tech answer. Facing devastation, Italy has turned to the skies. Enter helicopter hunting, a revolutionary method that combines technology with tradition. Flying low over hills and forests, lightweight helicopters like the Robinson R-44 allow hunters to spot herds from above. Equipped with semi-automatic rifles, often .308 Winchester or 30-06 Springfield calibers, and infrared scopes, hunters track and neutralize dozens of boars in a single sortie. The results are striking. A single flight lasting 3 to 4 hours can take down 15 to 20 boars, 5 times more effective than ground methods. Adventure tourism has also surged. Companies like Iroquois, based in Rome, welcomed over 500 clients in its first year alone, offering thrill seekers the chance to join the aerial battle. No traditional hunting license required. But beneath the adrenaline lies strategy. Each helicopter team, a pilot, 2 hunters, and a guide, moves with military precision. The pilot's skill is everything, with experts saying it accounts for 50% of success. Voices from the sky. 4 hunters, the experience is unforgettable. Tourist Julia Bion remembers. "My heart was racing. The helicopter tilted, the herd scattered, and when I fired, the adrenaline was indescribable. It's a perfect mix of skill, technology, and luck." Professional guide Luca Benedetti adds. "From the ground, you chase shadows. From the air, you see everything. It's like switching from candlelight to floodlight." Even seasoned farmers have joined flights, desperate to protect their land. For many, it feels less like sport and more like war. Progress and controversy. The Ministry of Agriculture reports significant progress. In just 2 years, helicopter hunting has reduced Italy's wild boar population by about 30%, from 2.5 million in 2021 to around 1.75 million by the end of 2023. But the solution comes at a steep price. Each flight costs around $500 per hour, making it inaccessible for many. Environmentalists raise further concerns. Helicopters disturb other wildlife, scattering deer, wolves, and birds. The noise of constant sorties risks creating a new imbalance in ecosystems already stretched thin. In December 2022, tragedy nearly struck when a helicopter crashed near Siena after engine trouble. No one was killed, but the incident underscored the risks of this high-intensity approach. The irresistible softness of merino wool. Merino wool is more than just fabric, it's a symbol of luxury. Its unmatched softness, fine crimp, and natural insulating properties make it one of the most sought-after materials in the fashion world. Natural wrinkle resistance. Moisture wicking. Odor resistance. Exceptional warmth without bulk. From elegant sweaters to premium coats, merino wool is a cornerstone of global fashion. The ancient legacy of wool. The story of wool spans over 5,000 years. Humans began domesticating sheep in the Fertile Crescent, and by the time of the Roman Empire, wool was already a cornerstone of trade. But the real turning point came in 1785, when just 15 sheep were introduced to Australia. Within a century, Australia had become the world's wool capital, a title it still holds today. With over 90 million sheep, Australia produces around 250 million kilograms of wool every year. The art of sheep shearing. Sheep shearing is both a science and an art. Skilled shearers can remove a fleece in just 3 minutes per sheep, producing a continuous sheet of wool without harming the animal. Professionals shear 120 to 150 sheep a day, while top experts reach up to 180. Each sheep yields between 0.8 and 2.5 pounds of fine wool, plus additional coarse wool. This efficiency is possible thanks to modern shearing tools, harness systems, and years of training. Yet the tradition of care remains unchanged. The health of the sheep always comes first. Sorting, grading, and processing. After shearing, the wool goes through a meticulous process of sorting and grading. Short fibers, impurities, and dead skin are removed, leaving only the highest quality fleece. From there, the wool is washed, blended, dyed, and spun, transformed into rolls of luxurious fabric destined for high-end fashion houses around the globe. Every step of this process, from shearing to sorting, represents a delicate balance of tradition and innovation. From the thunder of helicopters over Italy's vineyards to the quiet hum of shearing machines in Australia's wool sheds, one truth becomes clear: human survival has always been tied to our relationship with animals. For Italy, the wild boar crisis is a fight for control, for the protection of livelihoods and landscapes. For the wool industry, it's a story of partnership, a bond between humans and sheep that has lasted millennia. Both battles, one against chaos, the other rooted in care, reveal the complexity of our modern world. As we face the challenges of population growth, climate change, and shifting ecosystems, the question remains: can we find harmony with nature, or will we always be at war with it? The wild boar crisis, a battle for survival. Hello everyone, and welcome. Have you ever heard the thunder of helicopter blades cutting through the skies of Italy? If you're picturing a routine military patrol or a scenic tourist ride over Tuscany, think again. These helicopters are not here for sightseeing. They're part of a desperate mission, a battle waged against one of Europe's most destructive animals, the wild boar. Across Italy's picturesque countryside, from rolling vineyards to golden wheat fields, 2.5 million wild boars roam unchecked. They are strong, fast, aggressive, and shockingly smart. And their population has spiraled out of control. Every year, these animals leave a trail of devastation in their wake, costing farmers and the government an estimated €200 million annually. But money isn't the only thing at stake here. This is a fight for the survival of rural communities, the balance of Italy's fragile ecosystems, and the very future of European agriculture. Stay with us as we dive deep into this urgent struggle. The growing crisis, a country under siege. Wild boars are among the most destructive invasive species in Europe. Farmers describe waking up in the morning to find their carefully planted fields ripped apart overnight. Corn, potatoes, vineyards, olive groves, all destroyed in hours. And it doesn't stop there. These animals carry diseases like African swine fever that threaten livestock. attract swarms of flies and parasites when they die, spreading further risks. And with females producing up to 14 piglets per litter, twice a year, their numbers are doubling at an alarming rate. In just the past 5 years, Italy's wild boar population has exploded from just over 1 million to more than 2 million and counting. What once seemed like an isolated rural nuisance is now a national emergency. Local farmers call it La Guerra Invisibile, the invisible war. Every night, as darkness falls, the wild boars come charging out of the forests, leaving chaos behind. Helicopter hunting, Italy's cutting-edge solution. Traditional hunting, as many frustrated farmers will tell you, is no longer enough. Wild boars are cunning and adapt quickly. Drive hunts, traps, and dogs have had limited success. That's why Italy has turned to a radical new method, helicopter hunting. Picture this, a Robinson R-44 helicopter soaring low over vineyards, weaving between hills and forests, with hunters leaning out, armed with rifles equipped with infrared scopes. From above, the hunters can track entire herds as they scatter. The efficiency is staggering. Where ground hunters might take down 1 or 2 animals in a day, aerial hunters average 15 to 20 wild boars per trip. The government has partnered with private companies, like the Rome-based firm Iroquois, which alone welcomed over 500 customers in its very first year of operations. What started as a desperate measure has now grown into a full-fledged industry. And here's where it gets even more controversial. Some companies now offer helicopter hunting packages for tourists. Imagine flying into Italy not just for wine tastings and sightseeing, but to participate in an adrenaline-fueled hunt from the sky, no official license required. The thrill versus the risk. Helicopter hunting is as dangerous as it is thrilling. Each flight lasts 3 to 4 hours, with a team consisting of a pilot, 2 hunters, and a guide. The pilot plays the most critical role. Flying low, adjusting altitude and speed, and dodging trees while maintaining the perfect angle for shooters, 50% of the hunt's success depends on the pilot's skill. The risks are real. In December 2022, one helicopter experienced an engine failure and went down near Siena. Miraculously, no one was killed, but the incident served as a grim reminder, this is not a game. Despite these dangers, the appeal is undeniable. Hunters describe the experience as unforgettable, combining the rush of adrenaline with breathtaking views of the Italian countryside. A critical impact on population control. And it's not just about the thrill. According to Italy's Ministry of Agriculture, helicopter hunting has reduced the wild boar population by nearly 30% in just 2 years. In 2021, the number of wild boars was estimated at 2.5 million. By the end of 2023, that number had dropped to around 1.75 million. This marks significant progress, though the battle is far from over. But here's the catch, the costs are enormous. Each helicopter flight costs around $500 per hour, putting it out of reach for small farmers. Environmentalists, meanwhile, raise concerns about noise pollution, the stress inflicted on other wildlife, and the broader ecological consequences. So, while the strategy is effective, it's also highly divisive. A war on the ground, farmers daily struggle. Helicopters may steal the headlines, but on the ground, the fight continues every day. Farmers build fences, set traps, and even stand guard at night with rifles. For many, farming is no longer just about tending crops, it's about defending them. Entire communities rally together. In Tuscany and Lazio, volunteer patrols now organize nightly watches to drive herds away from farmland. Farmers say they feel abandoned by the state, forced to take justice into their own hands. One farmer put it bluntly. We plant the seeds, the boars eat them. We plant again, they come back. It's not farming anymore, it's survival. The bigger picture, a European problem. While Italy is at the epicenter, this is not just an Italian problem. Across Europe, wild boar numbers are skyrocketing, from Germany to Spain to Eastern Europe. Climate change, with its warmer winters and abundant food supply, has only accelerated their growth. Wild boars are now frequently spotted on highways, in towns, and even in the outskirts of major cities like Rome and Berlin. Videos of wild boars wandering into supermarkets or chasing people through city streets regularly go viral. This isn't just a rural crisis, it's an urban one too. The timeless story of wool. From the chaos of Italy's wild boars, we now journey to another corner of the agricultural world, the quiet, enduring story of wool production. Why wool? Because just as farmers in Italy are fighting to protect their fields, farmers in Australia, New Zealand, and beyond are working tirelessly to produce one of the most treasured fibers in human history, merino wool.